Tuesday. Show Me the Money Club live Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, right here on YouTube. You can catch the replay on any podcasting platform or just on YouTube as well, too. The following day. What's going on, Sergio? How you doing?
What's happening? I know what's coming up, so I'm kind of sad. I was the honorary Buffalo Bills fan this year, and we're not going to make it to the Super Bowl. But,
No.
maybe next year. So for that, I'm now a lifetime Buffalo Bills fan. Just for that. There you go.
Just for that, yeah. There was a couple of crazy calls that was there. You got to make it too big to rig. Too big to rig.
There you go. See? Right there. Right there for you.
Yep.
Right there for you.
Yeah, it's a sad day. It was very frustrating watching that game, and just got very pissed off watching. A number of things went wrong there. First off, I got to say, congrats to the Bills, though, for an amazing season, because that was probably their best season in franchise history. So congratulations behind the 93 Bills. So, it's great to see that they're continually improving, even though that this was supposed to be a rebuilding year. Nobody thought that they were going to even make it to the AFC East champs, let alone destroy the entire AFC East, because, well, let's face it, Dolphins, Patriots, and Jets all kind of suck still. Dolphins were kind of teetering on their playoff bound, but were well out, and so that's why Denver was the one that made it in. But either way, it was a great season nonetheless, watching them score 30+ points a game pretty much all of them, except for, I think, a small handful. Some of the plays that were going on was absolutely awesome. And to see that coming crashing down just like that on Sunday was just horrible and horrendous. It sucked. And then seeing some of those plays and then watching, afterwards, like that fourth down where he clearly passed the line. Clearly, one judge said it was over, the other judge said no, and then they gave them turnover on down. So that was a little bit of bullshit there. And that that dual catch was bullshit as well too, because that hit the ground. That should have been a dead ball at that point. So yeah, there were a couple of bad calls clearly that could have actually swayed the game differently and made different things. But the other side of the coin is the play calling for Buffalo was not the best, in my opinion, both for the Ravens game or for the KC game. Unfortunately, it was more run than letting Josh Allen kind of call the plays and do what he wanted to do. So that was an unfortunate thing. I think that it looked like their earlier in the season, where they lost those 2 games, when you started becoming a Bills fan and supporting them because of me. But either way, when it came to that, that's what it looked like. They weren't, doing that. And then when they finally got going in like the third and fourth quarter, it looked like Allen was actually using his legs a little more and moving around and getting a little bit more call, and just trying to do it. Actually, it was the last few minutes of the game now that I think about it. But still, then you get the whole people with the rigging and saying, "Oh, the NFL is rigged." I mean, look at the Super Bowl logo, and you got the same colors as Philly and KC, and the writing was on the wall. Sure, maybe. Yeah, I mean, they're a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and they want to try to chase the story. I get it. There probably is some sort of a leeway that they're trying to narrative when it comes down to what they're trying to do. I'm sorry, but I don't want to see Crybaby Patty within another Super Bowl. I don't care. All he is a fucking crybaby. Every time he doesn't get, dude, Brittany's got more balls than him. I like Brittany a lot more. I can't stand Crybaby Patty, and I'm sorry for anybody who's watching that likes KC. Good, you like cheating, awesome. If you like the Patriots, hey, same thing. How many issues did they have? But when it comes down to it, is there really NFL, guiding hand at who's going to win the Super Bowl, who's going to make it? I don't know. I mean, I want to say that it is actually up to the players, and the players can decide who's actually going to go or not. With that being said, I mean, with some of the calls that they had throughout this year, with some of the things that were going on throughout this year, And then, the colors on the Super Bowl, yeah, it could be a hell of a coincidence, but that's a hell of a coincidence for anything that you could have had. If you didn't have that color there, if you had the city of New Orleans colors, or you didn't have the colors until, the AFC and NFC championships games were played. So like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, hey, now we got the logo for the Super Bowl. At least that would seem a little bit better where you have both the colors. But in the off chance that they actually are fixing games and creating a narrative behind it, it's a very unfortunate thing because it reminds me of the news and it reminds me of TV and all of the bullshit that people put. So it's like you got an executive that says, "Hey, I want to see this show. I want to see this show. This show sucks. This show is getting canceled. This show is going to continue on." It doesn't matter what it was, but it's kind of like the same thing that same executives would be in there and say, "We're going to prop up everything behind Crybaby Mahomes and make sure that they're going to get into the Super Bowl or three-peat, whatever. We're going to have this big giant story, this big and all this stuff." Like, but the thing is, the reality, there's more people calling for boycotting the Super Bowl than I've ever seen before. I'm not watching the game. I don't give a fuck. I can't stand watching 4 hours of Crybaby Patty. Go Eagles, I guess. I'll support the Eagles because I don't want to see them win again. But it is what it is, and I think that the NFL is kind of at a crosshair right now because so many people are saying the fix is in. This is the fix, and they don't want that. They want real, genuine, authentic things. So going back to like the news and stuff, why did podcasting take over this year? Especially when it came to Trump and Harris presidential campaigns, we're going to different podcasts blowing up versus the news. Why? Because the news creates a narrative. They create a certain thing versus, going on a podcast that's 3 hours long and talking about whatever you want to talk about and actually getting to know the person. So it's the same thing. It's more authentic. It's more real. If you actually have players going out there who are putting everything on the line and doing what they can in order to win the game, there's a fucking great story there. And that's authentic as hell. And it's sad to see.
All right. So nobody in Buffalo is watching the Super Bowl, I'm gathering.
No, probably not. My Facebook is filled with people saying, I don't care. I'm not watching the Super Bowl. No. So
I'm not watching the Super Bowl.
I guess not.
I'm not going to watch it.
To honestly, I like watching the Super Bowl. Sometimes it was definitely annoying when it was like always the Patriots. Granted, yes, they're AFC East, but it was always a pain in the ass. And now you just have the same exact thing. And it's like, let the players play. If there is actually a fix, honestly, let them go. Let it be authentic. Let it be real. And let it be to the point where the best team actually makes it to the game. Because honestly, the Bills kicked KC's ass all fucking season long, including when they played him earlier in the year.
From what I know about football, which is little, but I do enjoy watching it because I think it's a fantastic team game. I know 60 minutes lasts 4 hours, which bores the shit out of me, but I think it's a terrific team game because everybody has to do their job for those, big guys up front to do their job, for the little guys to do their job. I mean, I think it's great. However, from what I saw, I think Buffalo has a few more years to go because they're putting a team together. They have a fantastic quarterback, and that's where it ends and starts. And this guy has his shit together. You can tell he's cool, calm, under pressure. And we, since I'm a Buffalo fan now for life, just like I'm a Barca fan for life, Buffalo fan for life, good, bad, and ugly. That's it. The next year I will watch the games from the first week instead of jumping on the bandwagon after the fourth week. There you go. But
it was. I mean,
no, this does happen quite a bit. It happens, in pretty much every sport. In basketball, it happened, as we know. It happens, right? They have their favorites, and they can sell more or better or whatever the heck it is, and that's what they do. It, and it's a big business, man. Big.
Yeah, but you want, going kind of back to what I was saying about podcasting and being authentic versus, what they want to pigeonhole it, pushes their own. like if you looked at it, the Bills sucked for 30 years. Let's be real. From 95 to when they first made it in the playoffs 7 years ago, they sucked. They were horrible. And it was tough being a Bills fan because you're just like, oh, come on, not again. Going 3-13 or like 4 and it was just bad. It was not good. And missing the playoffs every time, and now having a team that's together. But the reality was, like, the entire seasons that were when the schedule was posted, it would have been Sunday at 1. I mean, I remember seeing a couple of seasons where it was just a Sunday at 1 game. It was just, the game that you have on because the team has to play. Sometimes you get the 4:00 game because of going West Coast or whatnot. But the reality is they never had really any primetime games. And every once in a while, they would throw a primetime game in there, Monday night game, a Thursday night game, a Sunday night game, and they would be the stars of the show. They would be breaking records in terms of viewership because people wanted to watch the Bills. People wanted to see the game. And so it was wild to see. It's like, if they're, like I say, if they're fixing the games or anything like that and creating this narrative because they want KC to be the team like the Patriots were at one point, to create that whole dynasty, you're kind of shooting yourselves in the foot because you're creating this and people are like turned off at it at that point because they're thinking that, yeah, this may not be as genuine as it is. And so they're not going to watch. I mean, it's not just Buffalo that's not watching. There's a ton of fans that are not watching across the board that I see, whether it's on X or other areas. They're just like, I don't want to see the game again. This is not the Super Bowl we wanted to see. This is just crap. So I honestly think, though, like, if you play genuine, you play real, and there is no fix, or there's no, like, oh, hey, we're going to try to push you ahead, but, it is what it is type thing, or like the little nods, side, hey, that type of thing. If that's what's going on, stop it. Just put out a great team. The story will be there. I mean, the story was great for the Bills to go to the Super Bowl and actually make a win. But if that's how the fix is, that's how the fix is. I mean, look, they made some mistakes during that game. No lie. Like I said earlier at the rant, their play calling was not great. It reminded me of those couple of weeks at the beginning of the season where they just couldn't do anything. And then once they finally kind of let Allen go, you saw a little bit different shift of that team. You saw them, moving the ball a little bit more and things. So I think that was bad play calling on their part. Was it the fix? Was it just, stupidity? But it was the same thing with the Ravens last week.
I tell you where there's no fix. Right here. Show me the money. We don't fix shit. When I say that, we fix shit, but we don't. The fix is not on. So, all right.
With that being said, rant over. Let's go over the Ravens.
My hat off to the Bills. Good job. And let's get on with our dog and pony show here, right here.
Yep. And let's talk about what we're going to be talking about today. So, rundown: is Uber pricing comfort trips for less than X trips? Dun dun dun. Uber's not paying for the first 2 minutes of a scheduled stop now. Detroit rapper denied Lyft ride for being too big. I think people already know what that's all about because that was massive throughout today. Uber and Lyft drivers help the LA fire victims. Who's helping them? And then we're going to be talking about Uber's new policy denies cleaning fee to driver even with photos. We're going to go over and react to DK's Wall Street Journal interview where he's, quote, saying drivers have about 10 years left. And we'll give our thoughts on that. Then we're going to go to Facts, Funnies, our QA as well, and then Driver's Corner. And we may have David Seligman on. He was supposed to be on last week. He may be on this week. Unfortunately, being a lawyer is quite crazy, especially when he's wrapping up when it comes to court cases and things like that based on his location. So we may have him on. We may shuffle things around just to have him on if he does come on. But yep, that's kind of the rundown there. And then, of course, we do have a couple of announcements to talk about and go over. If you wouldn't mind kindly liking, sharing the show, as well as if you'd like to become a member and help support the channel, you can. If you do speak Spanish or know somebody who does, we would like to reach them. RSG is in Espanol, so you can check out the Rideshare Guy en Espanol for more, as well as any more in-depth content from the Rideshare Guy. You can always get our free RSG newsletter. And don't forget, we have different merch available. So RSG and SMTMC merch is available. And Sergio's little wheelhouse right here.
Yep.
Behind
Behind the wheel. So I'm having better luck getting drivers to come forward since we started doing this. So please keep it going. Meaning, if you're interested, if you have a good story, and we don't put a muzzle on, we don't have any restrictions on what you can say, except you don't need to cost too much. You can say anything you want, whatever topic it is. I mean, I'm not going to put you on because you're going to complain for 20 minutes about getting a $2 cancellation fee. But if you're a veteran, if you're a newbie, if you like what you're doing, if you don't like what you're doing, whatever it is, shoot me an email, sergio@therideshareguy.com. We'll get in touch and I'll interview you on Zoom for 20, 30 minutes, and then we'll put it on the channel. We've been doing these for about over a year, I don't know, about a year and a half-ish. And they do well, but we just, this is a chance for you as a driver to get your voice out. Some of these videos are getting 40,000 views, some are getting 2,000 views. We don't know why the YouTube algorithm pushes some of them, we don't, but we don't care. 2,000 people watching you is more than anybody that's going to watch you either complain or be happy about what you're doing. But we'll keep it balanced. And so if you're interested, if you have an interesting story, please email me, wherever you're in, around the globe, doesn't matter. Sergio@therideshareguy.com, and we will get in touch and we'll set it up.
All right. Let's move into our first topic. Uber pricing comfort trips for less than X now. What's going on, Sergio?
Looks like it, bro. So I put a Google Docs together like this, and it says, Sergio, quick update on state of rideshare in Austin. He may be here, actually. I don't know. But if you're not, thank you for sending this out. This is another reason we have success on the show as a channel. We listen to everything, we look at everything, we read everything. We don't put everything up, but please keep all this valuable information coming out, because I can assure you people, Uber is watching. So quick update on state of rideshare in Austin. It's gotten very bad. Rates around $20 an hour for comfort. Here are some screenshots. Use them if you like. I certainly did. These are all terrible trips on higher-end platforms. Once again, car quality will decline, driver quality will decline, ARs will decline, that's acceptance rate, wait times will increase for the rider. This digital pricing manipulation must stop. Hopefully, we can wake consumers up to manipulation occurring before it ends up in every aspect of the economy. Thanks for what you do. Well, this is ending up. Uberization of the workplace and workforce is happening in front of our eyes. We don't have to hide much. It's even happening at Google. Okay, they're hiring contractors more than employees because there is no recourse. They can fire you whenever they want. They can do whatever the heck they want. So Uberization is happening throughout the workforce around the country. There are a couple of trips here. Here's a trip. Look at that goodie, Chris. So that has a 5% advantage included, the advantage versus standard, right? Good rider, 5-0, okay. 6 minutes to pick up, 32 minutes to drop off, 19 and a half miles, combined of 38 minutes and 20 and a half miles for a whole $13.95 on comfort, let alone. Next, yeah, look at these things. Look at these beauties. This is where state of rideshare is, people. Assume you did one of these, okay? Assume you did. 38 minutes, and assume that it took 38 minutes, because usually, their estimates are garbage. But let's say it didn't. Their mileage estimates are okay, but then, their time estimates are not that accurate. So let's say it does 38 minutes. It takes a car, on average, to run it cost-wise, expenses-wise, $6 or $7 an hour. This is 38 minutes. So you have 22 minutes left in the hour. Let's say you bang another one of these bangers on the right. See, that's why I put them together, Chris. Let's look at this. So $13.95 plus 806, because the other one is 23 minutes. So 23 minutes plus 38 minutes is 61 minutes. So that's your hour of active driving, and you did these back to back. Okay? and you drove 20 and a half miles plus 10.7 miles. That's 31.2 miles. And you grossed a total of $21 and $22.01. An average car takes $6 or $7 to run an hour. That includes gas, insurance, depreciation, all that goodies. So we're down to 15. So that's where rideshare is at minimum wage job. Should it be? And that's why I put this up, because a lot of people go, well, I make this, I make that. Well, if you're somebody who's accepting everything and you accepted these 2 trips, you average, that's before taxes, you grossed, you netted $15. I don't know. I think rideshare should pay a little bit more. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked about what there should be as like a minimum rate that drivers should be making. And what it was like around 26 or so, $27. So I mean, it's not far off, but it's not great. The problem with that is you can't put those 2 rides together, because if you actually look at how Austin's set up, he was going outside the city by 20 miles. So I don't know how populated it is going to be right there. So you might be sitting there waiting. So that hour you could potentially just be grossing $13. And
but I was being kind to Uber. Yeah, and I got you. I was being kind.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
I was being kind.
I get it when you're saying that, but I mean, the other side though, when it comes to Uber and them pricing trips on the customer side, every once in a while when I open up the app on the customer side just to see where things are at and what things look like, yeah, I will see comfort sometimes under X when it comes to on the passenger side. And that happens actually quite often. And then sometimes you might see higher tiers actually lower than what X may be. And that's based on, a couple of different factors, but mostly on how busy it is. And you're going to see that more on, say, something like, what is it? Like New Year's Eve or something like that, where you might see Black lower than X. And that's just because the amount of people that are using it. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of been happening, but should drivers be the ones who are costing that? I don't think so.
Yeah. No, I mean, no. I think, pricing is at a point that, I don't know if we're doing a decent enough job, because look, I did it behind the wheel yesterday with my spreadsheet lady. Okay, it's going to come out this Thursday. Please watch this. This lady does professional spreadsheets for her cost per mile, for other expenses, for what she's making. She figures out the trend. She's been driving for 8 years. And as a driver, you have to do these things, right? You have to understand your costs in order for you to accept these trips or not accept these trips. And when you have a 20-mile trip, okay, the first one, forget the second one, forget combining. You have a 20-mile trip, pick up and drop off. IRS deduction this year is how much, Chris?
70 cents a mile.
20 times 7 is $14. That trip came in at $13.95. See what I'm saying? So you guys got to figure this out. I mean, do you want to do it? Do you not want to do it? Because that basically is completely, deductible mileage, right? 20 miles. There you go. What'd you make? You got to look out for profitability in this business. You just can't look out for cash flow.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing you really need to pay attention to is knowing your costs and knowing what ride is going to be worth it or not. And then that way it's going to allow you to look at the ride that's coming in, be able to gauge whether that's profitable or not, and then take it or decline it. And then that way you're going to be running your business a lot more efficiently and a lot more on a profit side versus taking a loss. The problem is that most drivers don't take the opportunity or time to figure that out. They just look at, oh, the IRS deduction, 70 cents, and that's what I'm going to base it off. But the reality is sometimes they're paying you less than 70 cents a mile. They're paying you 54 cents a mile or 58 cents from some of these rides that I've been seeing. Sometimes they're paying you 60 cents a mile or 64 cents a mile. So it's already lower than the IRS standard deduction. That doesn't even include with time plus distance. So yeah, there's a little bit of an issue there. I mean, $1 a mile, I think sounds at least at the low end. But
well, then, yeah,
I don't see that.
And granted, not every car takes 70 cents a mile to run. I get that, right?
Yeah.
But if you have a newish car with all the expenses going higher the last 3-4 years, it is going to take you pretty close to that. So at least figure that part out. After the 70 cents, we have some profits left. Got the cash flow part. Is this a profitable business you're running? You know what I'm saying?
Wow, Lisa says 34 cents a mile. That's insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the first thing you got to do. Find out your costs, because we need to know whether you are profitable or not on that particular ride. That's all you can do. If you're just taking everything, you're going to be making some money on some and losing money on others, and you don't know if you're going to actually be making or losing money overall.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So keep them coming, please. You know, I look at everything, I read everything. If it's worthwhile, once in a while, we'll put it up. Last minute, I got this. Okay, so everybody's talking about this. Advantage versus standard. Uber's pilot was very successful. A lot of you jumped over that hurdle of 25%. So they're going to continue that pilot for a little bit. Maybe we'll talk about that next week.
So, come on, guys. Yeah, we don't have it fully.
We just got it.
We saw that. Got a couple of late X posts towards us, probably about an hour and a half ago. So unfortunately, my thought is still the same, that it's more of a trying to get you to accept more and not really paying you anymore. So it's kind of a big nothing burger.
I think it goes the other way around, Chris. You said that too, right? Pay us better, we'll accept everything.
Yeah. Well, Joe's going to be working on a video very soon about how the rates in Minneapolis is changing.
He's liking it.
Well, they're seeing less trip radar because there's more acceptance. So I would love to know the numbers from Uber on what's going on in Minnesota right now. In regard, yeah, I know, but in regards to their acceptance rate, I know Joe's went from where his was, I think it was in like low to mid 20s or something, and now it's up over 55. So he's getting a lot more. He's saying he's seeing more exclusive rides. You get paid more, you're going to be able to move more.
Yeah. Although his utilization is down, he said, right? But it doesn't matter. It's quality over quantity anyway. So yeah, I get it. I dig it.
Yep. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's talk about Uber not paying for the first 2 minutes of a scheduled stop now. What the hell?
Yeah, that's like, this is another wonderful audience member or channel member who does these. She even puts them on Canva and does all this work before she sends it to me. You know who you are. Thank you.
We appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Much appreciated. And all I had to do is just copy this on a Google Docs to put it together. None of us want to do extra stops. I wholeheartedly agree. 100 million % agree. Yeah. And
if you pay me 54 cents a minute, then I'll take it.
Yeah, but she discovered something, and you know what she did? Initially, she had emailed me, Chris. She goes, "Do you know that? Do you know Uber is not paying for the first 2 minutes of the scheduled stop?" I'm like, I don't know. I go like, well, I just saw it. I go, do you have screenshots? She goes, no, I don't. And I'm going like, well, I don't know. I'm not sure. And what does she do the next day? She goes, takes one for the team, and she takes a trip to take the screenshots and to create this. My hat's off to you, and you know who you are. Actually, she's one of our behind the wheel drivers. None of us wants to do extra stops because they're margin killers. No shit. I got a ride, and they snuck in a stop. I didn't see until I picked them up. And when I got to the stop, this was new. I was waiting. There was a clock that was black for 2 minutes, and then it was green for the next 3 minutes. After the ride, I checked my compensation in the rider app after the fact, and I was only compensated for almost 3 minutes, not the 5. This might seem trite, but my time is worth money. I will not wait for people when not getting paid. 2 minutes of my life is my time. I understand the 2-minute waiting period to get into the car at the beginning. That's reasonable. But if you are in my car and I'm contracted to carry you, great point, I should be paid for every minute you're asking for my time. Uber keeps changing the goalposts. I'm sorry, but you don't get to take 2 minutes of my time without compensation. No shit. Uber, are you really goddamn doing this? Are you really doing this? Are you guys seeing this in your cities? This is from Virginia.
I hope this is a glitch.
No,
And
I
I
hope
hope they
this is a
say it's a glitch.
goddamn edge case, bro. This is one of those edge cases because this is
Yeah, this is an edge case, right?
shit. Okay, so and then she puts the screenshots right there. Obviously, I would normally never accept this ride. First of all, there's a stop, and second of all, this is at least 35 minutes, including wait times, for $8.35, which is downright offensive. I only accepted this ride so I could screenshot the new shiesty Uber stop shenanigans. Again, thank you, bottom of my heart. And here it is, Chris. There's this, and then next screenshot, and then we have 2 more screenshots.
Yep. Give me 1 second.
And look at this, okay? So new counter at stops. Look at what she does. Look at this, the work she does it, bro. If you guys are going to send me shit, please do it like this so I don't have to do much work. So she accepts the trip, gets to the first, stop, and here's the clock, right? And earning for wait time after, see the first one on the left, Chris, boxed in red, it's black. Isn't it? She's not getting paid to wait for Mary. And then after 2 minutes, it kicks in, turns green. Uber, you had probably 100 engineers to figure the color scheme on this shit, right? But you just now, you're going to steal so first 2 minutes before pickup is our time. It's okay to wait. No problem. We're not getting paid, right? And now this is a stop. You need to pay the driver for every single minute on P3, period. Period. P3 has not ended. We are going to talk about this, definitely, this week. So now, and then the clock turns. You know the work they put in on this shit, Chris, for that clock to go from black to green? They probably spent like 50,000 man hours to just figure that shit out in the app.
I think they just put it in ChatGPT.
2 minutes times how many trips a day, Chris? So, and then the next one, next screenshot. And here's the proof that she didn't get paid right there. She only got paid 15 cents, which was the additional time after the clock turned green. Obviously, I was only paid for 42.42 minutes wait time, not 2.42 minutes, because the first 2 minutes is on the house now. People, get on with it. Uber just stole 2 minutes of my life. Again, thank you for figuring this out. This is definitely going to Uber tomorrow. Definitely. Well, since you guys are watching, and since you guys have the screenshot tool, I'm sure you guys took screenshots of this already, but I'll send it to you anyway. So there you go. Look at this shenanigans. What do you say to this, Chris? You got something to say to this?
I say that the counter is okay under one circumstance. It's built into the cost. Meaning, if you are, this one's $8.49 for wait, what was the whole time? 14 minutes. So, I mean, the whole thing is, as long as it's built in already, then I don't think it should make a difference because it's calculated differently, as long as it is. But unfortunately, it makes it seem like you're not getting paid the 2 extra minutes. Is that actually happening? I highly doubt that. They're probably finding a way to say, you know what? We make them wait for $2 when we're picking them up. They don't get paid for that. So you know what? We're going to start the counter. But the other side too, that you could look at this is maybe they're actually going to start paying you extra for your time. I don't know. I don't see that happening either. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt here.
I mean, they don't need. I disagree with you. They don't need the benefit of the doubt. Uber doesn't need the. Okay, look. Do you agree or disagree that during P3, every minute I should get paid?
P3, everything should be counted for.
Well,
it doesn't matter.
P3.
I mean, like you go to a taxi, it doesn't matter. Like you say, hey, wait here. The meter's still running.
Yeah, that's right. Okay,
like, so it doesn't matter.
So this 2 minutes is definitely stolen from the driver.
Peg.
Yeah, I'm not buying this whatsoever. Uber couldn't explain this to me any other way. Well, I'm gonna hopefully get an explanation for this. This doesn't work. Okay, if this is a test or a pilot, we will find out. We will catch it. If any of this is happening to you guys in your city, please send me the screenshots. It doesn't have to be this good. Just send them to me. Screenshot it that you didn't get. You're getting. You screenshot me the black to green clock. Okay. And this is what we'll do. We'll go figure this out. Okay, Karma, I'm gonna boot you because you're getting on my freaking nerve.
Well,
Okay.
the
So
thing is, I think, you know, if a multiple stop was actually built into it, and so let's say, okay, you had your pickup to drop off to the first one, and then your second round trip, let's say, to the pickup to the drop off, and then they're at, like, let's say that's got the pickup, the whole distance from literal pickup of the passenger to the final drop off of the passenger and everything between. Let's say that has everything included. And then they're going to say, okay, well, now if you're actually waiting for over 2 minutes, you're going to get paid extra on that. That I could see as actually being a good thing, as long as everything is an accountants for, which means you're going to get paid extra on top of that ride. So let's say it was just a drop off to a purse, even though we know that's not going to be the case. Let's say they go to Target and you're 30 minutes in there. Is that going to be worth it for you? So those
well,
types of things I think really need to be really investigated and looked in order to find out why they're doing this, what the cause is, and all of that in between.
yeah, I think you know, begrudgingly, I will admit that the first 2 minutes when I get there, waiting for the rider, okay, it's okay. Let's say before you get in my car. Once you get in my car, you do not get freebies. The other thing
Yep.
is, you said,
Only
figure it in.
addition,
If it's figured
in
in the
addition to
upfront fare. We have an opaque algorithm. We don't know what the upfront fare is. We don't know
yeah.
any of that shit. All
Well,
I know
see,
is this is
that's where I'm going at. You have an upfront fare, so the fare calculates the pickup to the drop off, and then they throw something in as the wait time, and then they're saying, well, you know what? Yes, there's drivers who are not getting compensated for waiting, 5, 8 minutes, whatever it might be, at a particular stop. So now we're going to put the 2 minutes is already calculated into that fare, and then anything on top of that will be calculated as an extra on top of what the fare would have, what we would have thought it would have taken for a normal stop. So it's saying, like, the first 2 minutes, okay, you're still getting compensated for it, but after 2 minutes, that's where the driver is going to start making more for waiting.
well, that's fine. But as long as the two look, all I'm saying is during P3, nothing should be free. Period.
Yeah, I agree, but that's what I'm saying. If that's how it was, because it's an upfront fare, because it's not time and distance, you wouldn't have this problem. I mean, you see that in the
Well,
comments,
no,
but
I get that.
the
I
reality
get
is
that.
time and
Of
distance
course,
won't have that.
of course.
But the problem is you have an upfront fare that calculates a pickup to drop off, both for, multiple stops, for one stop. It doesn't really matter what it is, but it calculates what that fare is going to be. You take that fare, and then they're going to say, well, now the passenger gets X amount of time built in because it's a multiple stop. Maybe they throw an extra amount in. I don't know. We don't know. We don't
But
know what the
Chris,
breakdown on
okay,
the
but
algorithm is.
this
But
trip came in. Look, this trip came in with a multiple stop sign. You see it on the ping
yes,
screen.
no, I know.
So
Yes,
so
again,
Uber was paying from the time you stop. When you get to the stop, there is a slider that says, okay, I'm at my stop. And then there is a slider, okay, I'm going again. So I'm betting you anything that Uber looked at millions of trips and figured out the average wait time on multiple stop trips is 2 minutes and 43 seconds. And they go, well, let's just steal the first 2 minutes, because Uber was paying as peanuts as it was, nickels and dimes. They were paying from the time you stop. That's why there is two separate sliders. Now they're going, no, we're going to take that 2 minutes away, because we looked at 6 million trips with multiple stops, and we figured it's 2.5 minutes average wait. So we're just going to steal that 2 minutes from you too. We're just going to only pay you for 30 seconds. This is biggest bullshit. I'm just okay. Anyway,
yeah,
all I know,
I need to. We need to hear
yeah.
what they have to say. I
No,
mean,
but there's
otherwise we're going to harp on
definitely
this. Otherwise, we're going to harp on this and get drivers those 2 minutes paid for, because
I,
that is ridiculous. But like I
I
say, is if it's built into where the 2 minutes are already covered into um, that particular upfront fare,
you don't
okay,
know
I
how
get
long
it.
they're going to wait. You don't know how they're look. You don't know how long
No,
the
that's what
rider
I'm
is going to
saying.
wait.
That's what I'm saying. The upfront fare, we don't know everything that it is. The
Exactly.
primary amount of the fare is made up of time and distance that's expected for that particular ride. But
Right.
they could also build in, that 2 minutes into that by saying, hey, this stop is gonna, we've averaged it to be 2 minutes and 43 seconds. We're gonna give you the 2 minutes built into it, and then anything over 2 minutes is where it's going to
Well,
accumulate
tell us
extra.
that. Tell us that.
That needs to
Before.
be shown, and that needs to be given, if
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
case. If it's not the case, and they're just trying to shice you out of 2 minutes,
Yeah.
That's a whole different
Well,
ballgame, and that needs
we're
to
gonna
be
find out. So you guys took screenshots of this Uber? Yeah, it's cool. We'll talk about it this week because this is bullshit. So,
all right.
so email me if you guys seeing this in your cities because Uber will do this and then they're testing and it happens to be her and they tested with the wrong person because she figured it out. And if this is happening all over this country, I'm sure they figured it out. So I'm like, okay, cool. We'll talk about it.
Yep. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's talk about the. I don't want to say. I don't want to say that, but I do.
Don't want to say. Don't say. Okay, you had your rant already at the start, so don't say anything more. Don't say anything more.
All right. Well, either way, if you've been on X, if you've been on I'm sorry, if you've been on Facebook, if you've been watching the news, you may have seen a cow talking. I mean, oh shit, I said it. Damn it.
God
All right.
damn it, Chris. Shit, man.
So in Detroit, a large rapper was declined a ride from Lyft because of being too big. And there's the video floating around. I don't know if you watched the video or not, but I did.
I did. Yeah.
And then I watched the news video, and then I actually watched the full video that she recorded. Yes, basically, a driver said, "You're too fat for my car. Don't come in because my tires aren't rated for that."
That I don't know about that. That I don't know about.
It's impossible. Think about it. How many times do you have both your kids and your wife and yourself in the car, plus all the soccer equipment, or suitcases or whatever? Your cars are capable of handling 3 or 4 times the load that they are. So yes, your tires are not going to have a problem. Your suspension is not going to have a problem. This driver is a dick. I'm sorry to say he is. But where I will give him that he probably should have gone with is saying, look, if I will, if you can get in my car, great. If you can buckle your seatbelt, that's a different thing because safety is
there
key.
You go. There you go. There you go.
If you can't buckle the seatbelt in my car, I'm sorry, I can't take you. It's that simple.
Not a chance. That seatbelt going around. Like, no.
Yeah, I carry a seatbelt extender. I'm sorry, I don't. I'm not spending the money for that. I'm not taking the liability. If you're large and in charge, you have to carry the seatbelt extender.
Well, she got playtime. She got a lot of playtime, airtime, whatever you want to call it.
So she's suing Lyft right now, and probably going to win apparently because refusing a rider because of fat is actually against Michigan law because of some kooky upside down world that we live in today that says you could be a toaster if you so choose, or you're a protected class if you're a fat. I'm sorry, but no, you made the choice to eat too much. And you made the choice to continue eating too much. And I'm sorry, look, lady, trust me, bro, you're 500 pounds. And I'm not saying that to make fun of you. I'm not saying that to say anything bad about you. I'm saying that out of care for you. Please take care of yourself. Please do what you need to do to take care of yourself. I can only imagine you probably have some sort of, I would not be surprised if you have diabetes. I wouldn't be surprised if you have autoimmune diseases. I wouldn't be surprised if you have other things that you could easily take care of if you started taking care of yourself. If you got the help you need, if you need help, if you started eating properly, going to the gym, just walking, just doing things like that. It's got to be tough. It's got to be tough. But seriously, from the bottom of my heart, please start taking care of yourself.
Yeah. No.
Anybody else is like that.
Listen to. What's her name, by the way? What is it?
I don't know. I'm just going to go with Detroit rapper because we all know what this is. This is a grift to try to make money.
She's suing Lyft.
Yeah, this is a grift to try to make money from Lyft and a grift to try to boost your career.
Okay,
that's all. So I'm not even going to say what her name is. It's Detroit rapper. That's what I'm going to go with.
Okay, what do you guys think in the chat? Did the driver get deactivated or no? I go 1 for yes, 2 for no.
Driver,
I don't know. My guess is 1. Well, I actually would like to talk to that driver. I mean, if you're watching, sir, madam, whoever you are, actually, sir, I heard his voice. Buddy, if you're watching, or if you get a hold of, or somebody is watching, and I'll put you on behind the wheel. We'll tell your story. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got deactivated if she complained, which I'm pretty sure she did.
Well,
Yeah, I
she
agree with
complains
you
she's
100%.
doing a
That
lawsuit.
tires is bullshit. I mean, it's a
Well,
goddamn
hold
car.
on.
Okay,
Here's the real question: did she
one.
opt out of the forced arbitration agreement?
Who the
Rapper.
rider?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry. You're in
I
forced arbitration.
look, and there was a comment by Roxy, and Roxy on dead on point. She goes, she's a rapper, she's got money. Well, not every rapper's got money, but she's a rapper, she's got money. She should have ordered a Premier or Yukon or some fucking black car or some shit. Look, all I know is I hope he didn't get deactivated. Although this is definitely community guidelines will come into play on this. I'm pretty sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, here's the
And
problem.
yeah,
The biggest problem is that, again, she is almost 500 pounds and needs to take care of herself.
is she?
Much better. 409. Yeah, it says 498 or 489. I'm sorry, on the post that
Oh
somebody sent
wow!
Jerry.
I didn't. I thought you were just making
So,
up. Really? No, that's ridiculous.
oh yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So, I mean, I can only imagine what you got to carry around that way. Like I did. Tuesday's
Yeah,
usually my leg day at the gym. Tuesday and Saturday, and I do squats. I do 2 plates on each side, so that's what
there. You
360
got
pounds.
deactivated. Okay. Yeah, you
Yeah.
did get
So,
deactivated.
I mean, I do 2 plates on each side on the bar, and I can only imagine walking around like that all day long. It would
Yeah.
be insane, like the amount, and so like, come on. Oh,
Yeah.
I,
No,
I
no. This was not staged. There is a video of her outside the car recording the guy with the driver's face blurred. I mean, no, this was not a setup. This was definitely not a setup. No.
Mhm.
Although she did get TV time for this, unfortunately, and Lyft is getting sued, and we'll see what happens. We'll follow up on this. Maybe she will want to come on the behind the wheel.
Maybe.
That would be an interview.
Either way, yeah. I mean, maybe either way, but honestly, what's her name? Dank, please take care of yourself. I mean, honestly,
Okay.
if you need help, if you need help, contact me. I will help you. Um,
Okay.
actually, there's a couple of large people that I see at the gym all the time, and they're losing weight. They were
Yeah.
probably right up there, about 400 pounds, both of them, and they're losing weight. One's down almost 100 pounds. So, it can definitely happen. And if you do that, you're gonna feel so much better. Trust me.
All right. Yeah.
So,
On
but
that one, I
when it
agree with
comes down to it, look, the driver should not have handled it that way in any way, shape, or form.
you. No.
Completely irrelevant and not even true when it comes to your tires will not handle it
No,
because
that's bullshit. Yeah.
your tires will handle like 3 or 4 times the amount that the car is
Yeah.
weighing. Your car weighs probably 1,500 to 2,000 pounds or so. Plus you're in the car. Plus, how many times do you have 3 or 4 people in the car that probably equal about the same amount of weight as her? The only difference is it's the safety that comes down to it. Can she buckle her seatbelt? Because if she can't, you get into an accident. Whoa, watch out,
Yeah.
because that's going to be a
Yeah.
problem.
Well, the
But
other thing is, will
gotta have
she
a
fit?
seatbelt.
Like, assume it was a Prius. Will she fit in the backseat of a Prius? I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Well,
She
we'll
said
see.
that she could fit in smaller cars, so I mean, I don't know, but that's the whole thing. I would say, look, the reality is, I'm sorry, you can come in the car if you can fit. If you can't fit, or if you can't get the seatbelt to buckle, then
I
I'm
like
sorry, I
that.
can't take you.
See, this
It's a safety
driver is an
concern.
idiot because he could have thought it with that, and I would have probably done that. But you come in the car. If you get in, you get in. If you can buckle up, because we need to buckle up.
Mhm.
Otherwise, not gonna happen. That would have saved him from getting deactivated without a question. You know.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then
But
it
if you
probably
say my
would have
tires
saved
are going
him.
to blow up because you get in the car, you're a fucking idiot, bro. Like,
Yeah, and then on top of that, it probably would have they would have been able to use that from Lyft for a lawsuit by saying, "Look, it's a safety issue.
yeah.
We can't you can't expect somebody to go in without the safety. You need the safety. Like that's the whole point of it." So,
Brutal. The chat is brutal, bro. Like, that's brutal.
look, the reality is, yes, she's large. She needs to take care of herself, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I think a lot of this is kind of a grift more than anything, because I think I heard that she said that this has happened before. So, I mean, the reality is, like, I think you're probably trying to do a little grift here. But
Yeah.
either way, take care of
Yeah.
yourself. You won't
Yeah.
have this problem. I always say, I mean, is she? Let me guess. The next thing she's going to sue is Wendy's because when she goes to sit at the sit down at the bench, that she can't fit in the chair because the table's too close.
Okay,
I mean,
stop.
come on.
Stop.
Well, no, that's
Okay.
what I said. I said no. I've always said that. I said you're too fat if you sit in a restaurant and your stomach is hitting the table on a bench. I'm sorry, it's
Okay.
true.
Okay.
At that
All
point,
right.
that means you're too big and you need to take care of yourself. I don't care. I mean, if you're in chat doing if in chat you're the same exact way, you're saying, oh, you know what? They put those seats too damn close. I think they put them closer because they want to fit more asses in those seats. No, it's you got a
I
little big
mean,
because you're sitting in Uber a little too long and you're working 12, 14 hours a day and you're chugging down a hamburger or two and some French fries and a Diet Coke and something else. So look, let me tell you something. Go out, walk around a little bit, 30 minutes, eat healthier, do a lot of things that you could do. You'll feel a lot better. You'll look a lot better. And then you'll fit in that seat a lot nicer.
if I knew this was going to be show like this today, I would have started with my apple juice from the get-go. That's what would have been it. But let's move on.
Well, I mean, they have Uber Freight for a reason.
Oh shit, man. Let's go. Let's go to the next one.
But yes, that's what's going on with that. If there's any updates, we'll let you know. But yeah, that's pretty much kind of the whole thing.
Yeah, I still offer stands for both of you, the rider and the driver. Get in touch with me. I'll interview you.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Hell, I'll help you with my volunteering my services to help you lose weight.
Okay.
I will.
Oh yeah, no, that's a good thing. It's good. That's a good Samaritan that you are. That's good.
Well, no, I mean honestly, I don't want to see people like that. I couldn't imagine. Honestly, when I see somebody walking like that and they're fucking like, I mean, even listening to her in the video, you could hear her out of breath. Hear her out of breath. She's carrying 500 pounds on her skeletal mass. It's not supposed to happen. Your body is not actually supposed. Your joints are going to give out. You're going to have so much pain. I couldn't imagine the pain that she's in every single day.
I'm in pain right now. So can we go to the next topic?
Yeah. With that being said, everybody get up, stand up, take a couple of steps around, and then come back and sit down.
Okay, cool.
All right. With that being said, let's move on. Let's talk about, unfortunately, a sad story as well too. The fire, and this is going to be more your side of things.
Yeah. I am still in touch with both companies as of today. They haven't come up with anything. I actually texted people I know within Uber and Lyft about this. They said, we'll look into it. So again, Uber, Lyft, with all due respect, since we are independent contractors, since we're not employees of yours, and since we don't get health insurance, there were thousands, and you guys know, by the way, I'm pretty sure you guys have the data, how many drivers helped a lot of people evacuate a lot of people, okay? And afterwards, with the smoke, with the thing, they inhaled, they're working hard to, and granted, my hat's off to Uber and Lyft to provide discounted or free trips to the victims of this fire, but the other victims are people working in their cars 10-12 hours in that smoke and ash and whatever to provide trips for these people who are homeless or evacuated. So please, Uber, please Lyft, do the right thing, come up with some sort of a helpline, because I'm pretty sure from the Altadena area, some drivers, if not many, have been dislocated and have probably lost their homes. I am not sure if an Uber and Lyft driver is living in Malibu or Pacific Palisades. That's why I'm not mentioning that. But you guys should, they could be in rentals. They may not be able to pay their rentals. They may be in some sort of trouble. Please come up with something for drivers to benefit if they prove to you that, either they lost a home or they lost their car or whatever. I think it's the right thing to do, Uber and Lyft. So the headline was Uber Lyft drivers evacuate, but what about their cost? And yeah, I agree. I think so. But the drivers who venture into harm's way often have little gear or training to protect themselves or their riders from extreme weather. The rights of gig workers were also weakened by a California ballot initiative that was upheld by state Supreme Court last year, which is Prop 22. Uber and Lyft are exempted from state wildfire smoke protections for workers. Did you know that, Chris? Look at that. And the companies don't have to provide drivers with sick leave if they fall ill from inhaling wildfire smoke. Drivers also can't claim workers' compensation if their lungs are irreparably harmed. Uber, Lyft, do the right thing. At least put something out there, just an 800 number or whatever it is. And you would look, you send us million, messages within the app, right? Put something out there and let's see what kind of takers you're going to get, because 12,000 homes were burned. Hundreds of thousands of people were affected. I'm sure some are drivers. Please take care of your drivers. So.
Yep. All right, well, let's move on. Let's talk about a new policy denying cleaning fees, even with drivers that have photos. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a warning beforehand for those who may not have good stomachs, and you're watching this. You might not want to look right now, but if you want to listen, by all means, you can. Just to give you that pre-warning. And with that being said, let's go right to the
yeah. So look, bro. I play Uber support, Lyft support, non-ending. But then this driver, and I have made sure to ask this driver if he's gotten compensated. I get a lot of these pictures, but then ultimately they do get compensated. Although Uber has made this very, very difficult now, very difficult to get compensated for this mess that these idiots create in drivers' cars. This guy not only has pictures, but he has video, Chris. He has the dash cam, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He has a video of it happening. And Uber declined him pay because they said, you need to get this professionally cleaned. You need to send us the receipt of the professional cleaner, and then we'll think about reimbursing you. So, I'm going to read his letter. Sergio, I can't think of anything more disrespectful than vomiting in someone's car. I have no sympathy. When you're not feeling well, all you have to do is say something. I have a bag for them to use. I end the trip immediately. This nasty, filthy piece of shit vomited in my car last night, and Uber is more interested in these people than helping protect our cars. Unfortunately so. Something has to be done. See their policy attached. And their policy was that there was a change in policy a couple of months ago, and this guy is falling victim to that, is that you need to now send them a professional cleanup receipt in order for you to get compensated. I have camera footage and time and date stamp pictures, and that's all it should be required. I know about the fraud that happened in the past, which is true. A lot of drivers, idiot drivers, right? They just to give everybody a bad look. They would willy-nilly request, they would pour some water on the seat and send some pictures in and get $100 charged to the rider. There are idiots like that out there, and which make this driver's life much more miserable than it needs to be. And I know about the fraud that happened in the past. I had to stop driving for an hour and clean my car, and they don't think that's worth us being compensated for. I'm getting tired of these companies. I've done over 10,000 trips. I don't have to lie to get a few bucks. Hashtag angry as F. I agree with him. I sent this to Uber. Uber, do the right damn thing. Pay the man his cleanup fees. This is a huge fucking mess. And that car, an hour cleanup is not going to do this. That shit, that's going to smell. God knows for the next how many trips that this guy is going to do. He's losing money, right? And I don't know what to say. I mean, this is the risk that we take when we drive strangers around, after dark, and when they had a few too many, obviously, and they leave their belongings in the car. So Uber, do the right thing. Pay these people, especially if he has dash cam video and pictures of happening with the time codes on it. You can easily look at the right time, compare, because you guys are built on data. Pay the man, please.
100%. Now, my biggest gripe with this is the fact that you have to submit somebody who can clean it. Problem is, I clean my cars. I have all the detailing equipment I need. I would rather do it myself. Why? Because I know the job's going to get done. I know the job's going to get done right. and I can take care of it immediately. The problem with all of these is most of them, not all, but seriously, most of them are going to happen at night when people are drinking,
Yeah.
getting home, or trying to get home, or going to a friend's house, or whatever it might be. And then it happens in the car. And guess what? Now you're stuck there with it just sitting in there for a day or however quick you can actually get it in there to go get it cleaned, instead of trying to take care of it yourself or whatever you could do potentially. Um, so it opens up for a real problem because then they deactivate you for that time.
Yeah.
You can't work anymore. Let's say it was the third ride and you just started your shift and you were going to go all night long. Let's say you started at 10 o'clock at night. It's 10:30, and now you're screwed. It's a Friday, Saturday night. You can't go out and do anything because now you have to get that taken care of.
Well,
And you
guess
can't go
what?
on to rides. So
You said Saturday night, right? It was Saturday night, and then
yeah,
he
but what I'm
actually
saying,
once it was,
yeah,
and
but what
once
I'm
Uber
saying is
sent
the
him.
problem is, yeah, but the problem is that they want the receipt because they're going to pay the price of the receipt to get it fixed.
But
The
no,
problem is,
no professional cleanup place will touch this for less than few $100s, couple $300. And if you can do it as a driver, clean up your car, this receipt thing is ridiculous. Honestly, I mean, it would let the driver clean it. He's sending you the pictures, pay the man the 150 maximum that you're going to pay. Most places are not going to touch this for $150, Chris. And it was Saturday night, and he couldn't find any place open on Sunday. And what do you
mhm.
want it to do? Sit in the car with all that puke in the car? That car is
Yep.
dead,
So that's
right?
a problem.
So it's a
So,
bad policy. That's what I'm saying. It's a horrible
yeah.
policy.
So here's the thing. Anybody that happens to, email me, let me know. But with that being said, don't email me pictures. I don't care about that. Honestly, so this happened to me twice. Um, Thankfully it was only twice, but uh the thing I did right away, I mean, this is, before they had the policy changes. This was a long time ago, when it came down to it. So luckily I haven't had since, but fingers crossed. Either way, the first thing I did went right to the gas station, the first gas station that was open, and went right to the vacuum. Keep
Oh
some spare
shit!
change on you, so you can use that vacuum because that thing will suck up anything. And guess what? It's not your vacuum. It don't matter. Vacuum the shit out of it that you can. Make sure you have some sort of carpet cleaner, especially with the little things on them, so you can really get in and do a deep clean. And that's really essentially what I did right away. Thanks, Will, for being a member. But yeah, that's what I did, and it took care of it right away. I was so pissed off though, but it took care of it. It wasn't sitting more than 20 minutes from when it happened. Got it all cleaned up. I was fine. Everything was submitted at that point. And then I just went on the other platform because the first time it happened on Uber, the second time it happened on Lyft. So I just went on the other platform and continued working. So luckily I was able to do it that way. But now it's a much different story. The problem is they want that receipt, but they're not going to
Yeah,
compensate you for the time that you have lost that you would have been out there on the road. And I think that's a real problem within itself. You
yeah,
should be compensated for the time that you're going to be out, plus whatever the cost is that you have to go and get it cleaned at. Or let's say you are able to professionally clean it yourself because
yeah,
it's your car and you want to be the one who's taking care of it that way. And then you put a particular price tag on it.
yeah. No, I agree. And yeah, it's a bad policy. And this guy has not gotten paid. And I made sure. I said, "Did you get paid yet?" He goes, "Nope, they're declining because I had to clean the car, Serge." He goes, "No, nowhere is open on Sunday. I'm not going to let this puke sit in the car, get it professionally cleaned." And I get it. I get the point. And
Yeah.
he's not going to get paid. Well, hopefully he's going to get paid. We'll see if we can do something about it. But,
Yep. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's talk about Dara K's little interview where he was talking about autonomous robo taxis and the state of affairs for drivers, saying that drivers have about 10 years.
okay. Well, yeah, I urge all of you to go. First of all, we do have we may actually, maybe we will do a takedown on this ourselves and put it on the channel. You know how we did with the Harry's interview, right? Take it, snippet it, and do
Mhm.
a takedown privately and put it on the channel. Because there is so much to talk about it. This was about a 28-minute interview on the Wall Street Journal channel. You guys can go check it out on YouTube. First of all, to the journalist that interviewed Dara, you should be ashamed of yourself, miss. Horrible, horrible questions. Number one, okay, and absolutely no follow through. You let the guy dance in front of you. You had to let him ballet in front of you for like 28 minutes. No substance whatsoever. And Dara is good dancing. He's a good dancer. We know he is. And she just took it and sat there. This was like a embarrassment for a Wall Street Journal interview. Okay, you're from the Wall Street Journal. No business questions, nothing serious. Why are you there anyway? So please go watch it, and let me what your opinion is. But he was asked about, aren't you worried about your drivers and what's going to happen? And he was calmly, he danced around it, and he said, "Oh yeah, they have about 10 years. Okay, good luck. I think they have more than 10 years, DK, because I don't think this with what we're about to show on these Waymos, I don't think this thing is going to work out that well. But let's see how it goes." He said, she asked him about driver pay. She said, "Every time I'm in a car, I talk to my drivers, and they all complain about not getting paid." And he did the same usual dance, nationwide active hour, they make more money than ever before, blah, 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 whatever. But anyway, so, please go watch that interview. Let's see what you guys think. So key takeaways. Uber CEO Dara Khosrowshahi said the autonomous vehicles or self-driving cars will take over the jobs of human drivers in the next 10 to 20 years. So you all have 10 more years to go, guys. And he said that, and this channel has 10 more years to go. So he said that Uber investing in other ways drivers can make money, like helping AI companies develop their algorithms. This is the biggest bullshit answer I've ever seen. You know how those guys that they hire for like minimum wage and they just go like make notes, click, they see something and click, they do that. He's making it sound like it's a high paying job. And he said drivers and couriers earned, see what I mean? This is the bullshit. 18.1 billion in the third quarter of 2024, a 14% increase from the same time last year. Okay, let's do this, Dara. Let's do this. I know you're not going to come on, but let's do it. So, why in aggregate, right? This is global. This is global in aggregate, right? You have the data. You have the data city by city down to a city block, and I know that. Why don't you just come clean and just put a spreadsheet with one of your brilliant people over there? This is what it was last year. This is what it is. But you won't, because we know the numbers are not there.
Well, here's my thoughts on the 18.1 billion or the 14% increase from the same time last year. Well, this year they have 7 million drivers. Last year they had 5 million drivers. That's an increase of 2 million drivers.
Exactly.
That mean the pie's got to get cut 2 million more times on top of last year's. So 14% really is not that much more. You might be making more because there's more rides that are happening, because there's more drivers, or because there's more demand. But either way,
that's the problem.
The driver first place is actually going smaller.
Exactly. And and then she sits there. She's in awe of this dude. She sits there, no follow-up. That's the proper question. Oh, sir, but last year, year-over-year supply growth has been close to 50%. How about that one? Shouldn't the pay be commensurate to that 50% growth in driver count? That would be my next question. And he'll be like, ooh. So, but long story short, you should be ashamed of yourself, Wall Street Journal. That was a shit interview with a shit reporter. Well, yeah, I know people at the Wall Street Journal probably won't talk to me now, but maybe you should have done that interview instead of her. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was so. Well, yeah, we should do a takedown on that video. We should do a takedown on that video.
I think you should. And then what you should do when he starts lying or when he starts getting fidgety, because I love when you break down the behavioral science of somebody when they're question to question that they're trying to.
She was a pushover, bro. He didn't even get nervous on this. She was a pushover. She didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the reality is this is still going to continue on for many years, many decades, to be honest. It's just like, that, what was that, one form of energy? Oh, nuclear fission. No, fusion. Fusion. I don't know. Whichever one is like the sun. I can't remember now. It's 50 years away. Oh, it's 46 years away. Oh, we're working on it, but it's, it's still 50 years away. It's been 50 years away for 30 years. I mean, come on. So the reality is these autonomous cars and stuff like that, they're probably going to get better. Yeah. And they're probably going to
They are
take
getting better.
over. But I don't think they're going to be, I mean, honestly, 10, 20 years is probably the safe guesstimate. You could listen to Elon. Oh, I'm going to bring him in 2 years. No, you're not. You're not gonna. It's not nowhere near there yet. There's so
No.
many legal hurdles that need to be overcome first, and so many issues that need to. But either way, this gives you a great head start at getting your plan B or plan C. So then that way you don't have to worry about it. In 10 years' time, when the changeover may happen, if it is lucky to happen in 10 years, it'll be all right. It'll be like, nah, 8
Okay,
years ago, I already retired with that.
we're a rideshare channel. We shouldn't be saying this. Rideshare driving at full-time basis is not a career. You guys need to do this. Hit it hard for a couple of years. Save your money. Invest correctly, and move on. Period. I'm telling you guys this is not a career. And
No.
every year your pay gets less. The safety problems get will get worse. And we'll be here back to square one talking about it. All I know is
mean,
that do it
you
hard,
got
hit it hard for a couple of years, move on, have a plan B, C, D, whatever it is.
you got 10 years to start different businesses if you need to. You got 10 years to start your own
According
private
to Dara.
clientele. You got you got 10 years to do a lot of different things. So, just we warned you.
Yeah.
Let's see if Show Me the Money's still in 10 years. We'll see what
We're in
happens at
trouble.
that point.
Yeah. Well, that means DK was wrong. The
Well, we
question
could be
is this.
saying, hey, our last episode isn't it could be that.
Here's the question. Here's a question for you. 10 years. Will the drivers disappear before DK disappears?
I think DK will be gone long before that.
Long before 10 years? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We agree. All right. Let's go.
I don't see him I don't see him still at Uber in 5 years. I don't even see him in 2 years.
There was, by the way, this is not an insider info. So, last Tuesday, I did a autonomous vehicle webinar for Roth MKM, which is, they're all analyst firms, Wall Street analysts, right? So they put up a live they put up a live chat, but besides that, they put a live poll, right? For all the analysts that were watching. There were like 100 people watching. So, and these are all Wall Street analysts. So they put up this question, Chris. Uber's quarter is coming up February 5th, Wednesday. They're announcing the quarter, right? One of the questions was, will Uber beat or meet expectations or fall short? 70% of the analysts said fall short.
Dun, dun, dun. What do they know that you don't?
Well, they know. The 70% of analysts said, fell short. So this is not inside info. This is public info. You guys can go check the webinar out and see the poll. And me and Rohit were like, really? Okay. Well, Robert said they're going to fall short. Well, we'll find out. Stock 69. If you guys are interested in this thing, please go check my finance channel out. I'm not going to plug it, but we'll talk about it on that channel too on Wednesday. No, Wednesday. So next Tuesday. Fall short. We know what to do when shit falls short.
Well, who knows? Maybe we'll, yeah. But either way, like I say, this is not definitely the option. It's great for, extra money. It's great for fallback. It's great for, those types of things. It's great for, in between or figuring stuff out. It's absolutely great for that. Still is, in my opinion. And it still will be for many years to come. The reality, though, is don't think that this is going to be something that's going to last you forever, unless you start doing, private clients, if that's what you want to do, or, other things. So just make sure if you want to start doing stuff that you take the steps that you need to at least start looking and figuring things out. So then if something does happen, deactivation, I mean, that's a reality that you could face. A lot of things that could happen. You want to make sure that you are, taking care of yourself and that stuff. So with that being said, let's move on.
Lyft. Don't depend on Uber and Lyft. There you go.
Well, you know what? Let's self-drive right to the next topic of Waymo and what's going on there. A couple of crazy things. Go figure.
This is in my neck of the woods, buddy. Beverly Center. They
Well, it ain't
stood
gonna
in
be
front of
here.
this Waymo. Luckily, there was no one inside the car. Okay. This is at the Beverly Center. If you're in LA, you guys know where you are. Right in front of the Beverly Center, bro. This is two major streets. I mean, this is not like in some, a barrio or some, skid row they did this in. They stood in front of it. Obviously, the Waymo is not going to do what? They're not going to run it over you. Bro, they demolished that car. As you guys can see, they took the right door, passenger door out, put it on the trunk. I mean, put it on the hood.
They made it a
I mean,
cone.
they absolutely
They
demolished
didn't
this
have
thing.
cones. I didn't put the
No,
cones there. I should
they
have.
went a little further than cones.
Yeah.
And my good buddy Tony here in LA got into it on Twitter and happened to tag me for some reason with an argument with this troll who says, "Oh, I love Waymos. I hate Uber and Lyft drivers." And I'm going like, "Why did you tag me, Tony?" They went on for 48 hours back and forth insulting each other because Tony hates these fucking things like you do. Although,
Yes.
when you do come for Curbivore this year, I am definitely going to put you in one of these. And
Don't worry, I'll have a cone with me.
okay, we'll have the cone with you. Yeah, that'll be good content, actually. We just put the cone and laugh at it. Yeah, they demolished one of these things, bro. They absolutely demolished it. So I tweeted this out. I said, this is a Waymo. If there was a rider in this car, that rider is in deep shit until somebody shows up. FYI, this took like 8 minutes to get this car into this shape. Not one LAPD officer showed up in those 8 minutes. Not one. They effed the car up completely. That thing is dead. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If this was, I said,
you can hell the front tire's flat, so maybe that
I'm telling you,
driver
they
in Michigan
destroyed
was
this thing.
actually onto something.
They destroyed this thing. So
yeah.
I said, I tweeted it out. I go, okay, here's a Waymo. If there was a rider in this car, what would that rider do? It's going to push that button on the screen saying help. Well, they would have effed you up pretty good if you were in this car. Two, if this was a human-driven car with a rider in the car, right? What would that driver do? Save his ass and save your ass. At least drive around or run over the goddamn people and save your butt. Well, Waymo did not do that. Waymo was like deer in headlights. Please come destroy me. And I'm like, they obliged. They destroyed the crap out of this thing. They destroyed this thing, bro. In the middle of Beverly freaking Hills. There you go.
Yeah. I honestly, I kind of got to
say. I don't condone it, by
the
way. I don't condone it. This is bad.
I don't condone it either.
Yeah.
I don't condone it either, but I don't mind seeing it. I kind of want to say, told you so. I mean, we talked about this. You know this is going to happen.
Yeah, I know it.
Things like this is going to happen. We saw this with the little freaking robot who was getting ride by Dorothy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I this is too much. But and then I'm yeah, I mean, a driverless car is not a safe situation for the rider. If there is 1% chance this is going to take place, you as a rider are toast, miss or madam, because a human would make the decision of driving over these people, at least not to save your ass, rider, to save his own ass. You know what I'm saying? And Waymo is definitely going to do that. They're going to be sitting duck over there. So what's this I see on the right-hand side?
That's what I was just about to say. What I absolutely despise is all of the bullshit that I see when it comes to.
I just saw that.
Sorry. Hey, listen. When I go to Five Guys, and they're taking my order, and they say, "Oh, you want this, this, and this?" Yes, and then they flip it around and say, "Do you want to add a tip?" No, I don't want to fucking add a tip. You didn't bring the food to me. You make it right there, and you hand it to me. You're not getting paid extra. And then, all of these other places that have all these things. Oh, would you like to add a tip? Would you like to? No, go fuck yourself. Pay them more or something. God. I don't really care.
We are definitely going to get canceled.
Then Waymo has the fucking audacity to put on here, would you like to tip your fucking driver? Dude, there is no driver there. It's a driverless car. Shut the fuck up, Waymo.
Oh, Jesus my Christ. God. We are definitely going to get canceled.
So
we're
Jane,
gonna get canceled, Chris, we're gonna get canceled.
Jane Wong. Thank you, son. I appreciate that. They're working on tipping. You're fucking kidding me. Tip this. Oh. I'll get that cone. Don't worry.
Yeah, this is okay. Is this for real? Seriously? I
I
mean,
don't know.
it could be photoshopped. I don't know. There,
It's not.
I honestly, just for this now, I'm gonna go take a Waymo trip and to see if this is real. So
This
Jane
is my
Manchun
tip.
Wong. I mean, does she look like a liar to you? I don't know. We
No,
should
no,
check
she
out who
doesn't.
Jane Manchun Wong is. She has a Twitter check mark, so she might
She
be
does. She's
real.
very. Yeah, but there's a couple of those text messages or the little DMs that I get in my junk box, even though they're from verified, and it's like, hey, you want to see my OnlyFans picture? No, no, I don't, lady. And they got the blue check mark.
Well, okay, so I'm on. Well, I have to test this. I mean, add a tip. Seriously, Waymo? I'll add you a tip. It won't be that
I'll
tip
give you a
though.
tip. I'll
The
give you a tip
fuck?
right putting a cone right on that fucking
I
hood.
mean, seriously, I'll add the tip of the cone right there, and like, what the hell, man? I mean, I got the rating. Okay, that's fine. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Feedback is fine. Support. Well, this looks real. I mean, I gotta add a tip for a driverless car. Are these really maybe there are people who are driving these fucking things, Chris, and then maybe those are the guys that are gonna get the tip bucket. You know what I'm
like they're drones or something. They're driving drones. It's
Donation. So the
it
tips
could
they
be.
will okay. This I got it now. The tips will add up to fix this junk on the left side screenshot. There you go. That's for the tip. That's for the next vandalized Waymo, just to build another one.
I mean, like, tipping fatigue is real, and I tip my waitresses and
Oh,
waiters.
way
I
real,
tip.
way
I
real.
mean, I don't get my hair cut because my wife cuts my hair, which is awesome. So, either way,
Yeah.
I would tip them. But like people, I tip, and I tip good. But then when tipping fatigue is real, like it's insane. Oh, you want to tip? No. What are you doing that's a tippable service to me? How are you doing something that's going to this is part of your freaking job. Do it. And then to have Waymo have the audacity to put something like this on them, go fuck
Yeah.
themselves.
Well, getting canceled anyway. Cuss all you want now. So go for it.
I don't care.
Oh,
I mean,
I don't either.
Harry and his
I'm done.
driverless newsletter. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. We should. Did Harry? Did he tweet this out?
I don't know. He may have. I don't know.
We should have him on because he has a rideshare channel and he's doing a driverless car newsletter. I don't know. Is there a conflict of interest a little bit here?
I don't know. I think that might be more B2B versus anything else. Kind of like
breaking
Herbivore.
news! Breaking news! Herbivore may be sponsored by Waymo this year.
Oh, don't make me laugh.
I know this shit.
Oh, we're gonna get a bunch of codes.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
You're fine. Hold on. I gotta pull up. I gotta pull this up.
Pull it up, buddy. Pull it up, Buster. Pull it up. Pull it up. Look at the first title of the sponsor. Go pull it up.
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
I'm pulling it up.
Commerce gurus to the curb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't even see 2025. I see everything 2024 still.
No,
Harry,
bro.
you gotta get on this. Update.
Look at LinkedIn. Look at Harry's tweet on LinkedIn.
Oh, now you gotta put me on LinkedIn.
Tweet, whatever the fuck, post, tweet, whatever. Oh, I just got it. Look at this breaking news from TechCrunch from my buddy Rebecca Bellin. Oh my God! Look at this, Chris.
What?
We're talking about Waymo. TechCrunch just came out. Breaking news: Waymo begins testing robo-taxis on LA freeways. Oh
God!
Snap! There you go. They're coming.
We're gonna have a whole. Hey, and you know what's awesome about LA freeways is every inch of those things. No, you know what's awesome? Let me tell you. This is what's awesome about the freeways in LA. Every square inch of those things is covered by video cameras that I can access. So that means there's going to be a lot of fun things to watch as these things get pinged around like little ping pong balls, trying to drive on the 401.
Did you check the sponsor of Herbivore? Did you check the sponsor of Herbivore?
I didn't see anything. I'm looking on LinkedIn. I don't see anything.
Yeah, Harry
Where?
tweeted it
How
out.
long ago was this?
Harry and his partner, they tweeted it. They not tweeted, posted it on LinkedIn. Thanks
How
for
long ago?
like a week ago, maybe. You know,
Man, he posts too much on LinkedIn. Like LinkedIn is not like
well,
that
yeah,
great.
because that's his jam, bro. He's like, he's business
It's
people,
my
no
jam.
drivers
It's
over
my
there.
jam.
It's his
Hold
jam,
on,
bro.
you're making me like scroll through 4 months ago. Wait, what? I don't see anything from him.
Okay,
Post
well,
by
we'll
Harry.
see.
Here we go.
Dun,
Yeah, I don't
dun.
see anything when it
All
talks
right.
about herbivore. He's got to
Okay.
update the
Well,
site.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
Oh,
All
either
right.
way, I'll do the George Soros thing and just get a whole thing of cones and just place it right by herbivore so we can have a lot of fun when they drive by.
No, we're definitely gonna ride in one, especially if they're the sponsor, or two or three. Do some content.
Oh man.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do it. Anyway, Herbivore, for people who want to know, April 11th, but we have some time. We will announce it. We'll have free tickets. This year, we have a special test, drivers. A special test just for Uber. Special test. Actually, yeah.
I
We're
like
gonna
it.
be we're gonna test it where you guys cannot even imagine where we're gonna test this thing, but we are.
Ooh, I like it. All right. With that being said, we still have one story. We got to end it on a good thing because Waymo adding tipping. Come on. No. We want to tip the cute little puppy.
I didn't even know about this. The puppy bowl. I didn't know about
Yeah,
that.
they get
I
the
don't have a
puppy bowl.
puppy. Is there a puppy
Yeah,
bowl? Oh,
yeah.
I
It's on
didn't know.
Sun. It's on. It's the true Super Bowl. It's the puppy bowl, baby. You get a bunch
Seriously.
of puppies playing and
Oh,
doing
dude, look
different
at that.
things and having some fun. They're cute. It's fun. It's nice. And yeah, Lyft partners with Animal Planet for Puppy Bowl.
Puppy bowl right there. Well, the
So
Lyft is doing it. Lyft. It's great. I didn't even know there was I thought this was a spoof, but then I go, it's kind of cute. And that puppy in the back seat, with the head out, is definitely super cute. And so
yeah,
what do the puppy
it looks
bowls do? What do they do? Like, do they do something? I don't even know what
yeah.
puppy
They
bowl
just
is.
they just like get the dogs out and have a little fun, and they're like
Oh,
doing little different things, and they're trying to make it look like a game, and they're playing, but they're just playing. They're having fun. Their dogs just enjoying whatever they're doing, and
oh,
it's to try to help raise awareness for adopting pets in need. So
okay.
it's a nice little thing that they're doing. I appreciate that.
Okay. Well, look at Buddha. Buddha, there's nothing left in the Palisades. What are you doing in the Palisades? You're giving free trips? Anyway, yeah, this is very cool. So are we doing driver's corner today?
Yeah. So I
Okay.
am going to post that right now. Give me a second, and we'll go over a couple of the comments that we got throughout the
Oh yeah,
day.
I saved a few comments. Yes,
Give me 1
I
second.
saved a few because while you were doing on your few rants today, I saved. Thank
All
you,
right. So if
man.
you want to join on the driver's segment, we will be taking 3 drivers,
Thank
or up to 3 drivers.
you.
So
Yes,
make sure you use that link. You can come on, talk, hang out, and
we're not
we
killing
will
time.
get. What's up?
No, we're not killing time for David to show up. We really mean it. Sergio, this Buddha says Coachella is April 11th. Coachella is a piece of shit event, bro. Unless you're doing private trips. You want to go do Uber and Lyft at Coachella? It
Yo,
used to be
wait a
good.
minute. Why are you doing it on Thursday, Friday? You should be doing it on Tuesday, so then we can do a live show.
But we're gonna do a live show anyway.
No, I
Okay,
mean a
you know what?
live show me the
We
money
need
club.
to get your ticket and shit. It's the end of April already. I mean April shit. End of January already. Okay, well I'll talk
Yeah.
to Harry tomorrow. Yeah, this is Hustling Buddha. Buddha talks a big game. I made 8K last year. Good for you.
Wow.
Show me the money.
8K.
Oh,
I mean,
people just
I don't know
fucking
how that's going to pay your rent, but
whatever, bro.
all right. Well,
That's a big
let's go
game.
back. Steve, thank you for the super chat. Yes, smack that like, y'all.
Yes, please do.
Appreciate that. Also, Steve had a good video that both Sergio and I were on, talking about the Colorado bill and some of the things on that. So I took the stance actually with Uber on a couple of things, especially because it's like, why
Huh?
do independent contractors have to share some of the information when no other company does? So You know, I need to understand a little bit more, and I know Sergio is all for it. Now I understand driver transparency 100% needs to be 100%, but when it comes to the passenger side of things, I mean, I don't understand why the law is just forcing Uber when not one other company, not one other independent contractor, not one other freelancer, not one other thing shares that information. But go check out that video.
Please do. It's
Again,
good.
thanks, Steve.
So did you see
That
this?
out.
Tipping is for charity on the Waymo, but it's going to be a test run.
Ah, no,
I don't know. He knows, I guess.
no,
All right.
I disagree.
Okay,
Unless
fine.
no, because here's the thing.
Mm.
You're going to have, let's say, the percentage of it is going to go to administration fees. So if you donate, let's say $1, and 30% goes to administration fees, now 70 cents on that dollar goes to maybe the organization that they're going to be talking. But then there's administration fees for that organization, and so maybe 4 cents on that dollar will actually make it. No, if I'm going to donate to something, I'm going to donate right to the charity themselves.
All right.
I'm not
No,
going to
I
go through
know.
this middleman bullshit.
I'm just guessing. Maybe he knows. The gentleman that put up that comment, maybe he knows. I don't know.
I don't
I
know,
think
but
it's
that's what I'm saying.
ridiculous.
Like,
It's
I think
ridiculous.
it's insane. And
Yeah.
for them not to put that on there saying something like that, then
Oh, I agree.
I don't get it. I don't think so.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. I got a story about picking up a rider with a ankle monitor, and law enforcement stopped me on the road and pulled him out. Well, that would be great to see that dash cam footage, Ryan. So if you got that dash cam footage, send it our way because we'd love to see that.
That will happen.
Or maybe it might make for a good behind the wheel too.
That would be good. Yeah, that would be good TV.
Devo, am I wrong, or are they lying about the pickup distance lately? I mean,
They've been
Lyft has
doing
been
that forever, bro.
notoriously bad on pickup distance. Yes, that's why I went. What was it? Maybe like 2 months in, when it came to Lyft rides, I'm like, what the fuck? So I started saying anything over 10 minutes, I wouldn't go and pick up. And then I had to drop that. And I actually have two different stances. If it's 8 minutes on Uber, and it also depends on the ride now with upfront fares. This was pre-upfront fares, but it was 8 minutes on Uber and 6 minutes on Lyft because they would always be wrong. So that's been going on for a long, long time.
Yeah.
What vehicle is better for rideshare out of these two options, a Honda Odyssey or a CRV? What you can afford.
One is are they both minivans?
No, a CRV is just an SUV. It doesn't.
Is it Odyssey like a minivan?
99% sure no CRV has a third row, so you can't do XL with it.
Okay.
An Odyssey you could do XL because it's a minivan. So one's a minivan and one's an SUV. If you were looking at, getting a Pilot, that's what I have, and it's got the third row, so you can do XL on that.
Okay.
But that's up to you what you want to do there, and so that's that. But go with what you can afford. If you had to take a trip yourself in an Uber to go to San Diego, it would be $375. And Uber says, "Hey driver, take this person to San Diego for $85."
Yeah. Well,
you got to price that out. Let me see. you should do that. What's the cost to San Diego? How much is it going to cost me? And I mean, we've seen LA to San Diego trips, so we could definitely say that for sure. I caught Uber stealing my Surge. What should I do with this evidence? You should send it to Sergio at rideshareguy.com. Surge is all around me, but I don't. I'm in a donut in a hole with no Surge.
You're the kryptonite. You're Uber. You're Surge kryptonite. That's why.
Yeah. Well, hey, send that video over to Sergio at rideshareguy.com. Not that he can do anything about it, but that's where you turn your app off, and then you turn your other
stealing. It happens quite a bit. That's why we highly recommend don't chase the Surge unless it's a block over. If it's like 2 miles away, don't chase it. By the time you get there, it ain't gonna be there. If that's what you mean by stealing your Surge, or all around you Surge, and then you have that little donut hole that you're in the middle of.
It sounds like he's in the little donut hole like Iron Man was in Iron Man 2.
No, that happens quite a bit. Don't get discouraged, but
eating donuts.
Don't chase it. Don't chase it unless like at least maybe maximum 2 blocks away. If it's more than that,
Yep.
don't chase it. It ain't gonna be there. But when you
Yep.
move towards that, the surge is gonna keep moving away from you. So
I keep a
there you
detailed
go.
spreadsheet of all 16,000 rides I've given, breaking down the fares, percentages, money per hour, and dollars per mile. Nice.
Nice.
Now, what you need to do is you need to take
Don't
that
send it to
data
me.
and then no, you need to understand that data. How much money are you making now versus then? Are you making
Compared to-
more or less? Are you
Yeah.
working more or less? All those things you can figure out.
Well, the lady that is coming on behind the wheel, she has that all figured out. She has all the comparisons. So please check it out. Stephanie, good job. There you go. See?
So
you do
Uber
this.
and Lyft for the free marketing, built a terrific private client base and didn't cost me a dime. Please raise take rate to 90%. Hey, I mean, the thing though that you're doing, Jeff, is you're building outside that arena. So you're like you're plucking them, and you're just plucking them, saying, "Oh, you're coming with me. You're coming with me," and you're building outside that arena. So that's even better.
Yeah, I agree.
An easy solution: end the ride at the stop, end it. Yeah. And going when we were talking about them not charging the driver or not paying the driver for 2 minutes on stops.
All right.
Big. She definitely could have ordered an XL, plain and simple. He should not have get deactivated because he felt that she was too big for his vehicle, just like you have the right to pick and choose yours. Partially agree with that. First off, an XL or a regular car is going to have the same seatbelt size for the most part. Those don't change. So even if she needed something that was bigger, but the reality is 500 pounds or not, the tires will not cause that. Or will not pop.
But can you imagine though, if the tires did blow up?
Well, if the tires did blow out, then that's a whole different story. But the tires won't. They're rated for a lot higher of that, so they're going to carry like 3,000-4,000 pounds just themselves. So they're more than capable. He should have clearly said something different, like gone with the safety and making sure if she can fit in the car safe and if she can actually buckle herself in a seatbelt. Whether that's an XL or not, it wouldn't probably matter because most of the time seatbelts are relatively the same size.
Frame damage. Somebody says frame could get damaged.
No. Sorry. I mean, I understand the jokes and everything, but I'm talking about actual true physics here, and it's not going to happen. If you clean the car yourself, generate an invoice for the work you perform and submit it to Uber. Use your spouse, friend phone number in case they call to follow up.
That doesn't work either.
You can do that, absolutely. Just make sure. But again, that's especially if you're doing it yourself. That's the reality. I have all the equipment to clean and sanitize my car inside and out, and I do that because I love driving my one car, and I like keeping clean cars on top of that. So I have all the equipment and do that for particular reasons. So why would I go take it to somebody else when I can do it myself, and then I'll just charge Uber? So either way, thanks, Will, for being a member. Appreciate it. Mr. Gambit, can the ICE agents pick up those undocumented Waymos? I think we got to come up with a different organization than ICE. ICE is pretty full at this point. Maybe we'll take one of those 87,000 ICE IRS agents and get them on that.
I'm fired those.
What's more dangerous, a Waymo ride or a New York City subway ride? Oof.
Definitely a subway ride, bro. Come on now.
Right now, yeah, definitely a subway ride.
In New York City now? Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Angel, thank you for the super chat. You guys are the best. We appreciate that.
All right, let's go. Jesus is waiting.
All right.
Anybody else? Grab the link. Anybody else? Let's go. Grab the link. Come on down. Jesus, welcome to Show Me the Money. How are you, sir?
Hey, fellas. How are you guys doing today?
Excellent.
Good. How you doing?
Hey, I got a quick question. What can we do with Proposition 22 in California?
Nothing.
Nothing? Is that forever?
Yes, sir. Because it got challenged all the way to the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court decided that it's not unconstitutional. In order to get rid of Prop 22, two things can happen. A new proposition Just like we had AB5, they brought Prop 22 to get rid of it. So a new proposition. It's costly, extremely costly. I don't think drivers can do that. And second thing is go through the city council, but the city council has to approve it by 7/8 of a vote, 7/8, and that's not going to happen either. So we're stuck. So we're gonna, we're stuck.
Oh my God! So we're screwed.
Yeah. Why don't you like Prop 22? Do you drive full time or part time?
Yeah, I do full time, but I'm about to go to Plan B, because you guys were right about 10 years, whatever it is,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm like right now I'm at the airport because in the streets it's a different pay from the airport from the streets,
Yes.
I feel
For
like
sure.
the trips at the airport pays better than the streets.
Absolutely, 100%. Especially going out of the airport, not going into the airport. But then you're in the queue at LAX. You're in the pig pen. How long have you been waiting?
I'm in San Diego.
Oh, you're in San Diego. Okay, all right, that's cool. Actually, San Diego's a better market than LA. So
Yeah, but right now I tell you, I mean, I'm Mexicans. I have nothing against nobody, but at this airport, I tell you, I would say 90% of these drivers don't even speak English.
yeah, that's where the
I've been
business is
driving
at.
for Uber and Lyft for about this July will be 9 years.
Okay, why don't we interview you? You want to come on behind the wheel?
Maybe one day, yeah, for sure.
I see they got cold feet.
No, for sure. Yeah, look, this is my first time doing this. It's not.
Okay.
I'm a little bit older. I'm kind of behind technology. I'm an idiot. I'm
No,
sorry.
you don't need any technology. We just jump on like we're doing now. We just jump on it and we talk about it for 9 years of experience. I'm sure you learned quite a bit and you can teach our audience quite a bit. So
Yeah. I guess I got a lot of experience out here.
yeah. Have you just been only in the San Diego market for 9 years or different?
Yes, sir. Just in San Diego.
How's the market in San Diego? It's supposed to be a pretty decent market, actually.
It's okay, but you gotta learn with the times, like the times of the days to pay, because somehow it pays you better at nighttime. For some reason they have different rates at part of the day. Like mornings and days and nights.
Yeah.
You might go to the same place, but a different rate.
100%. Algorithm has different. There's different algorithms that they run during the day, even during the day. So you said Prop 22. What can we do about it? What don't you like about it? Is there anything you like about Prop 22? What don't you like about Prop 22?
I feel like we get screwed with long rides. I feel like they take advantage of us. Like for example, some rides could be like 28 minutes, but literally could take you 45 minutes. So I feel like you're getting ripped off for those 17 minutes, whatever it is.
But you are getting paid for that. If you know, under Prop 22, you're getting paid for period 2 and period 3.
And if I do, I don't see it, but I guess I do. But
well, that's because overall you make more money than $20. I'm pretty sure you figured out how to make more than $25 an hour, right?
I try to. That's my goal. Yes.
Okay, so that's why you're not getting Prop 22 help, because the guarantee is for like $20, $20.50. And I'm pretty sure any driver worth their soul would make more than $20. That's why. But are you getting the healthcare stipend though? How many hours a week are you driving on average?
I used to, but I don't, because I used to be just fully committed to Uber.
Oh, okay.
But these days, I can't be committed to one of them. I have to be, be open to both of them.
Okay.
And be open, so I don't get that stipend money no more.
Damn. Okay. Well, that's one bad thing. Maybe if they can change that they combine, right? Then you will get that again.
I think that's the only way possible, to be honest with you, because I feel like with one app, I think it's more of a challenge too.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, 20 weeks, week after week, 20 active hours, week after week after week is really tough, because if you get sick one week, you don't drive. Next week, you have to drive 30 hours a week. So, there's Puppy Bowl right there. Anyway, anything else on your mind, Jesus? Thank you for showing up, man.
And that's it. That's it. I just wanted to see what can we do about 22.
Not much.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right, have a good one.
All right, thanks.
All right, guys.
Thanks.
Be safe. Peace. Be safe.
Robert, you'll come on in second. SW back. No, we're not out west. Sergio is in LA. I'm based out of New York. So
you missed the start.
East Coast, West Coast. What?
He missed the start. Obviously, he would have figured out you're on the East Coast.
All right, Robert, how you doing?
What? You missed the start. Would have figured out you're on the East Coast.
Oh, you gotta turn off YouTube, otherwise we're gonna have a mess, Robert.
Yeah, you gotta mute yourself, or mute the show, and then we'll bring you on. You can hear us instead of we'll get that echo. So
mute yourself, mute the show, and then
give me a thumbs up when you do that. All right. Okay.
Mute the show, and then.
Okay, just turn off YouTube. How about that? Okay, cool. All right. What's up, Robert? What city are you from? How long you been driving? What's going on? What's in your mind? Oh, it still has the echo because his YouTube is on. You got to turn off YouTube. Like turn it off altogether. We have nothing to do with YouTube.
I don't know if y'all can hear me. I can't hear y'all.
Can you hear us?
No, it sounds like you can't hear.
No?
Yeah, you gotta shut down the stream, and then just keep StreamYard open.
There you go. There you go.
Hopefully that'll work. What stipend? You can get a stipend for working so many hours for healthcare stipend for California in Prop 22.
Yeah. We can't hear you now. Can you hear us? Well, you have the floor. You tell us if you can read lips. No, you can't hear you?
I don't think so. I don't think you can hear us. Nope.
Okay, go out and come back in. We can hear him.
Yeah.
Can he mute us? Is that what he did?
No, I think I don't know.
We can hear him.
See, when he has turned it on, there's an echo because that means his YouTube is on. That's why.
I can hear y'all on my computer, but not on my phone.
Okay, you're good now.
There's an echo because that means his YouTube is on.
Yeah, but there's also a delay too.
Yeah, the delay is because of YouTube. YouTube is on at the same time.
The only problem is there's about a 30-second delay right now.
Okay, well, what's on your mind? We'll just shut up and listen to you.
YouTube is on at the same time. The only problem is there's about a 30-second delay right now.
Okay, well, what's on your mind? We'll just shut up and listen to you.
Okay. Well, I was the one that had those 16,000 spreadsheet data rides. Well, I was the one that had those. Yeah, as far as that goes, this is awkward not being able to hear myself either. As far as that goes, I am making about the same that I was making when I first started back in 2017. However, of course, inflation's gone up, so I'm basically making less. About 6 months ago, the surge in my town, just like a switch, got turned off. We went from getting $10, $15, $20 surges to $1, $2, maybe, if that. So as far as that goes, yes, the price has the pay has gone down, but everything else is still the same. I'm happy to be in the rate card market because I don't know what I would do if we didn't have the rate card. If I had to see if we had the flat rate or there's no way to calculate what you should have made. At least with the rate card, I know I'm getting per mile and per minute.
Yeah, no, that's big. And what city are you in again?
So as far as that goes, it's been pretty good. I do this part-time, 3 nights a week, 2 nights a week. Usually it supplements my income from my day job. And it's been pretty good for me, about 25,000 a year or so. So.
Okay. All right. Well, be safe. You can't hear us, but be safe out there. Thank you for coming on.
All right, thanks. All right.
All right. One more? You guys, one more victim? No?
I don't know.
No?
I don't know. I think everybody's scared.
We need to do this from the start. Like, put the thing on.
The waiting list in New York City. Well, luckily I don't drive in New York City. I'm in Buffalo. So thankfully I don't have to deal with that. But no, it's because they have a cap on the amount of drivers that they have in the area. And so, you know, when they're going to bring new drivers on, they pretty much go in line in the list. So you could be waiting a little while, especially if people are going to continue on.
Yes, you
staying
can
where they are.
join from the moon if you're on the moon, as long as you have the link. Yes, you can.
Yep. Didn't we have somebody on from across the pond?
London, yeah, we
Yeah.
did. And then we have people that email me from New Zealand, bro.
Oh, nice.
That's on the bucket list. New Zealand, a trip to New Zealand, not for Uber. Hell with Uber.
I think that's where Harry should send us.
Harry, bro.
Then we could do a live stream from there.
Harry, after how many years of Herbivore, is going to bring. He said he will. So, Harry,
Yeah,
you said you will, Harry. You chicken out on this. We're going to boycott. I'm telling you.
gonna boycott just like the Super
here
Bowl.
Wednesday of that week, Chris needs to fly in, and Saturday of that week, he can go back home to his kids. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Nobody else. That's it. And David did not show up. Well, David, sorry, we missed you again. Maybe some other time. By the way, so on that, the latest news is that Uber was and the defendants were at court making the case. If this is going to go to trial or not, we'll find out. But at the moment, there probably will be a stay on the transparency law. And yeah, all right, cool. Thank you for joining us. We will see you guys next Tuesday. Anything else you want to add, buddy? Because you were on fucking fire today.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
gotta get some shit off. But yeah, either way, go Bills next year.
yes, I'm a Bills fan.
And with that being said, get out there, make some money, and start planning for Plan B, because 10 years from now might be quick here. Maybe here quicker than you think.
That's
we
right.
got a Mohammed.
Anything else you want to add, buddy? Because you were on fucking.
Oh, we got another delay.
Another delay. Mohammed is on every week, bro. See, you guys have the balls this guy has. He's on every week when we put up the link. Come on now.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening,
How you
Mohammed.
How are
From
you? How you
Michigan?
doing? Happy Tuesday. Thank you for your posts every week and your talking, helping drivers. I just got it back on the Lyft platform. I got my Subaru back after like 16 months of renting from Avis. Now with Lyft, the requests have been terrible. Really, they only send me good requests on rush hour. Other than that, and with Uber, it's like a hair pulling contest. All the time is they send me lousy comfort trips when even like after a sporting event finished.
Huh. Okay.
Now, Chris and Sergio, a while back, I said that what Uber should do is have an update for drivers to either opt out of Trip Trader.
Not gonna happen.
And I posted down there, but I think it was misread wrong. Because I'm sick of the most annoying sound of the Trip Trader. I can't stand that. That sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, don't hold your breath. I think Lyft is going to come up with something similar.
Well, the Lyft has that. I've just seen it. Lyft has that. Now
no, the noise. I mean the noise. The noise.
Well, okay. The other thing is, Uber should have, for EV cars, when someone has like 40 to 50 miles, what is it like, or they have only like 40 miles on left, they should enter like a low power mode where Uber is not going to send them to BFNP.
They do have that. They have that. They have that, Mohammed. They have that on Uber.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, they have it on Uber. So when you have an EV and a car you're hooked up to the Uber platform.
Yeah.
Car, the software discovers that you have, let's say, 40 miles left, 40 miles of juice left, right?
Yeah.
And then Uber will not send you like an 80-mile trip.
But I've gone long trips before.
Yeah.
I've gotten maybe
your car, but your car was not registered on the platform. That's why.
No. I was driving it. I was using it for Uber.
Yeah. But the car, the rental you had was not registered on the platform. That's why you have. Okay, it's within the app. You have to turn that on so the software understands that there is little miles left on your car, and it will not send you on a nature hike.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what else?
It's over now. You have your own car now. So.
Yep. And what is it? Thank you for for being here every week for drivers, Chris
Always.
and Sergio, and one last thing is, what is it? Pray for peace.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
God bless. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Oh,
thank you. Okay.
Hey,
bye.
extra bonus.
Yeah, we got a bonus here. David,
bonus.
how you doing?
Hi, Chris, Sergio.
David,
good to see you.
Thank you. We're just
you
coming
on.
Please watch the start of the show today if you don't mind. When you have some time.
Yeah.
And Chris Chris ranted about Buffalo for I don't know 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes. It's classic. It's a classic. You should see it.
It's torture. I wouldn't wish being a Buffalo Bills fan on anybody. I'll tell you that.
Well, are you boycotting the Super Bowl too? Because Chris is boycotting the Super Bowl.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, no, I'm not watching that Super Bowl. No way. No fucking way. It's rigged. It's all rigged here, Sergio. It's all rigged.
Up. That's the word he used.
The NFL, if you would just let the players play and the best teams win, the story's there and people would watch. But no, they want to go with crybaby Patty.
Don't feel. I'm not feeding that monster. No way.
Right. There you go. All right. So thank you for making it. I know you were supposed to be on last week.
I appreciate it.
He's active lawyer, so he's got court.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate everybody's flexibility last week. I love your guys' show. So thanks for having me on, and sorry again for not being able to make it last week.
Oh, no worries. And then so we're gonna let you go and give us the latest on. So me and Chris, we did actually interviews about it. Maybe you saw it or not, but we have a little bit of a differing opinions on it. But then I read your beautifully done opinion piece, and well done. So if you guys, maybe in a few minutes, you can give our audience a synopsis of your opinion on this matter where Uber is suing to halt the transparency bill, SB 75.
Yeah. So, Colorado last year passed pretty basic transparency protections for that are serve rideshare drivers and riders. And the core of those protections involve the companies having to disclose how much of the rider's fare is actually paid out to the driver, right? Like really basic transparency. We've heard what I'm sure that lots of your audience sees all the time, which is that even as rider pay, fares have gone way up. Driver pay, for the most part, has stagnated, has gone down in certain contexts. It is, imperative at the very least that Uber discloses its price gouging, right? Which it, by the way, right, it's achieved massive market power, outrageous market power over the last decade, driven, other transportation options out of business, substantially undermined taxi, and as a consequence of that, has the power to set fares at these really high level, while still not paying drivers in most cases a fair and living wage. So really basic transparency protections, also some transparency for drivers about their earnings. The companies Uber and Lyft negotiated with drivers, with Colorado Independent Drivers United, during the course of the legislative process. And ultimately, because drivers had been told that there wasn't a path to passing anything unless they came to a deal with the companies, or at least until the companies got on board, the companies got on board. The companies said that they had nothing to hide. The company said that they could comply with the transparency requirements. Fast forward several months, and a couple of weeks before the law is supposed to go into effect on February 1st, and Uber and Lyft are supposed to make these disclosures, they run into court and they try to halt the legislation by arguing fundamentally that the First Amendment protects their right not to disclose this information, or that the First Amendment, that it violates the First Amendment for the state to require them to make these disclosures. That's a pretty extreme legal argument, right? This is not like political speech here, right? This is not like, Uber or some private individual saying who they're going to vote for, right? Or expressing some other, kind of speech that's at the core of our free speech protections. This is what we call this is commercial speech, right? This is like how the representations you make in the marketplace to your workers and to your customers. And not just that, all the law requires is they make truthful disclosures, right, about what they're actually doing, about what drivers' earnings actually are, right? We're very familiar, right, with all kinds of laws that require companies to make disclosures, right? It's like tobacco companies, they've got to put warning labels right there on cigarette packaging, right? This happens all the time. And in this case, the transparency here would serve really important interests, like all the interests that the state had in mind when it passed this legislation, right? Like the interests of making sure that riders knew how much of their money was going to drivers, so they could decide how to tip, they could decide how they wanted to spend their money, who they wanted to do business with. It could create opportunities for new market entrants to come in, different companies to come in and say, hey, look, we're charging the same amount, but we're paying our drivers more, right? Whatever, right? Like this forces the kind of transparency that we should have in a marketplace if we want the marketplace to work. So the Uber runs into court, makes those arguments, and tries to halt the legislation from taking effect. At least as of this afternoon, the court had not yet ruled, but we expect a ruling on the preliminary injunction before Friday. I think the thing that I just want to highlight here is how, in my mind, absurdly hypocritical it is for Uber to try to play these legal games, right? I mean, fundamentally, the core thing is that Uber denies drivers and riders all the time the right to go to court to sue it for just about anything, and yet it has no problem running into court, whining about legislation that it worked on, right, over the course of several months in the legislature.
Yeah, I mean, they had a year almost to do this, and then last hour, they go in and try to do this. Number one, I read the 51 pages of the complaint or the lawsuit, whatever you want to call it. There was so many frivolous things in there that I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a legal scholar, but it just common sense was thrown completely out of the window when it came to this lawsuit. And there are some questions, though. I want to ask you one question, which I did get quite a bit, because I am 100%. If you may know, I had spoken to Senator Priola. In fact, I had interviewed him on the channel, who was the sponsor of this bill from Colorado. And I had a meeting. I was in Denver about a year and change ago, and we met in person, and I kind of educated him a little, because I believe a lot of legislators don't have a clue when they write laws, that they don't even understand the business, write laws about rideshare. Okay. But long story short, the year before, he was the one that killed Stephanie Vihil's bill. And the year after, he happened to be the sponsor of this transparency bill. And this bill is as clean as it gets to me. I mean, there is no pay involved in here. There's no benefits involved. It's as clean as it gets. For Uber to kill this, there's nothing, right? For Uber to try to kill this bill, makes absolutely no sense to me. And I'm 100% for transparency. But there was a valid question that I can't let you go before I ask you this.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, why should a rider know what a driver is making? Like, for example, when you go into McDonald's or when you go into somewhere else, a regular W-2 or other independent contractor job, let's say a plumber shows up to your house, right? They quote you something, you agree, they do the job, and you pay the whole amount. But out of that plumber could be subcontracted by a much bigger plumbing company. The question that came up is, why should the homeowner know about what that subcontractor made? Like, what is their business, right? That's the question.
Yeah, I mean, so first of all, it's not clear to me that shouldn't happen, right? I mean, even in that context, right? But I mean, fundamentally, here's what we got to go back to, and this is like what I think is so deeply concerning about this model, right? We're talking about driver fare, or rider fare, and driver pay set by hidden algorithm based on considerations that are completely obscured from us, right? And that could vary minute by minute, driver to driver, rider to rider, depending on all kinds of factors that are not obvious to us. All ways of exerting control over the marketplace. Well, of course, disclaiming responsibility. You're saying we're just a platform. All we are is a platform for connecting, but we're going to exert all kinds of control over both sides of this purported platform. I think in that context in particular, especially because what we know is happening is that they're jacking up rider pay even as rider fare, even as driver pay is stagnating or going down. I think in that context is especially important, at the very least, right? That both sides of this purported platform know what this company is doing, right? A little bit of transparency, right, is absolutely essential to understanding, to exposing the hidden algorithms that these models use to control both riders and consumers. The other thing I'll say is that, and I think this is like something that I think is probably familiar to everybody, a lot of this business model here, and we hear this all the time from drivers who say that, riders are really pissed off about how much money we're making, right? Or, very often what we see is like how riders and drivers are pitted against each other in sort of day-to-day interactions and in legislative fights, right? When we talk about driver pay, for example, the companies will say, well, if we have to raise driver pay, that's going to become unaffordable for riders. What we know is actually happening, right, is the company is hiding its take rate, the amount that it is taking from each of these transactions. It's profiting off of the sort of hidden algorithms that it uses to set pay and wages, and the just merely exposing that is some minimal level of accountability, for an algorithmic system of control that operates entirely in the shadows. So that's the policy reason. What I'll say is that, putting aside the policy reason, the Colorado legislature made a decision that this was the policy that that would serve the people of Colorado, both drivers and riders, supported and pushed for by drivers' organizations in Colorado. And so, putting aside whether or not you agree with the policy, it's deeply disturbing to think that this powerful corporate interests would run into court to weaponize the First Amendment in order to undermine worker and consumer protections. And to do so at a time when courts are stripping human beings, like people, of all kinds of basic rights. But corporations, and when they take away our right to go to court at all for anything, right? But corporations, meanwhile, can take away the rights of riders and drivers to sue it for wage theft, for consumer fraud, for all kinds of things. So like fundamentally, we're talking about a legal system that's rigged, that Uber has helped to rig, and I think it's really essential that we see this for what it is, as something that hurts riders and hurts drivers, and that we appreciate that we all share this common and shared interest, whether you're a driver, a rider, or both, in some minimal level of transparency, and some minimal level of sunshine on these algorithms. So
yeah, and one last thing, if I may add, is this, that I think in this lawsuit, Uber seems like it cares more about optics than transparency and people's rights to know. They go like, oh, well, they're going to think we don't pay we exploit our drivers. They're going to think we don't pay. Uber, we're smart. We figure it out. We can figure out math, right? And don't worry about that part. But Uber has this thing that, our perception may be in the toilet after this passes. Yeah. I'm going like, no, actually, your perception may go through the roof that you're transparent.
Totally. I'm on a show. This is my daughter.
Okay. Well, say hi to her.
Yeah. You want to say hi to them? This is Sergio and Chris. I'm on a show. Yes. I'm gonna run shortly here. But Yeah, no, 100%. What they say is like one of the reasons they say the purpose is to shame them, right?
Yeah.
Here's what would shame them. Here's the only thing that would shame them.
We do it every week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, come check out your show.
Exactly.
No, they say the purpose is to shame us because the public will see how little we're paying our drivers and how much we're charging our riders.
Yeah.
Damn freaking straight. That's the purpose. The purpose is to shed a little bit of light on the corporate on
exactly
corporate, right? To serve the interests of a competitive marketplace and to serve the interests of drivers and riders, right? That like nothing about that, right, is inconsistent with the First Amendment. So, anyways,
thank you for coming on.
Really appreciate everybody, and everybody should stay safe out there.
We appreciate you. Thank you for doing it. Sorry about the Bills. Now, I told Chris this. I'm going to tell you too. Now, I know you're a huge Buffalo Bills fan. After this year, I was just a temporary Buffalo Bills fan for a year, but now I'm a lifelong Buffalo Bills fan.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Maybe this is when you should be getting out of here, Sergio. Maybe you shouldn't be messing.
Yeah, there you go. No. I'm going to stick good and bad.
Right. You'll get one. You'll get one someday. All right, Sergio, Chris, good to talk to you guys. We'll talk soon.
All right, thanks, David.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. So thankfully, he was able to get on at the very last end, but hopefully you guys stuck around for that. It looks like you did, but yes, so it sheds a little bit of light.
He's a lawyer. He's smart. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. We'll have definitely a couple of topics on that next week when we convene for next week's show because or when we start next week's show because it'll be after the first. So we'll see what happens.
All right.
Sir. Anything else there, bud?
Yeah, all good, bro. Right. Yeah, so email me for Behind the Wheel if you have a story. Don't forget. See you guys next Tuesday. Please be safe. Stay healthy. That's the most important thing. See you guys next week.
All right. Have a good one.